Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be doing just a good old-fashioned get ready with me. So I have a whole bunch to do today. It is actually midweek when I'm filming. I have a whole bunch of doctor's appointments today, and so the lighting may not be the best because typically when I film it's like mid-afternoon during the weekend when the baby is taking a nap. But today is a little bit different. I am not working today because of all these doctor's appointments that I'm going to. Nothing like bad. They're just routine so far as I've been told. So that part's fine. But I thought, you know, why don't I sit down, film a little bit of a get ready with me and kind of talk about what's been going on. So hopefully that's something that you will enjoy. I'm going to be using all Project Pan items rather than kind of going through what I'm using. It's just everything from a Project Pan because A, that's a little bit easier for me, and B, I need to be using these products anyway, so why not? So the first thing that I am going to start with is these little eye gels from Peter Thomas Roth that I'm horrible at using. They sit on my vanity. I never remember to use them. So if I ever try to buy these types of products again, please remind me, Ashley, you don't use them. Unless I can get myself into a really good routine of using them, I just cannot justify buying them because it doesn't matter how well something, like formula-wise, it doesn't matter how well something works if you never use it. Get them out. On without it actually going into my eyeball, because, you know, I don't think that's what it's intended to do. Alright then, put the lid back on and we will get to getting. So, I am officially 30 weeks pregnant. Allegedly, that means I've got 10 to go. I probably won't, well, okay. I don't know for sure whether or not I will or won't go the full 40 weeks. I've heard kind of conflicting things. A lot of people say that twins typically come early, but then here recently, I've talked to a few people, they're like, oh no, I had twins and mine came late. I was like, okay, well, I don't necessarily want that because, I'm not gonna lie guys, I am a little bit over being pregnant at this point. Not that I don't like being pregnant or dislike being pregnant or whatever the case may be. This thing is making me crazy. Oh my god, how do people use these without it like literally poking them in the eyeball? Anyway, I'm clearly going to be super rambly. I've just now started the coffee. I'm only allowed 1 cup of coffee a day. And I just started it, so my brain is probably not working well. But yeah, so for those of you that have been pregnant before, or gosh, even if you're pregnant now, you know, the 3rd trimester is really cool because you've got all of this like movement and you really feel a little bit more connected to, you know, this little life that's growing inside of you. But at the same time, it also comes with some not so great aspects, like lots of back pain, inability to sleep well, lots of indigestion, just kind of being very, very uncomfortable in your own skin, which, you know, is not the best feeling. Kind of like these eye gels. I will not buy these again. Not these particular ones per se, but just in general. I don't think they're shaped well for my particular face, and they're just bugging me. Anyway, I will stop ranting about these eye gels, I promise. Okay, so I put down just my eye base, which right now I'm using the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I'm going to go ahead and set that down. Is this the right brush that I grabbed, or am I a dummy? I'm a dummy. All right. Again, not enough coffee. So anyway, I am definitely getting to the point where I'm ready to meet these little ones. Which, I mean, that's exciting too, don't get me wrong. There's also the anticipation, but also, for me at least, a little bit of fear, I guess, because, you know, I have a 2-year-old, and, you know, we have a routine, and I really like our routine, and I like our life, and the relationship that I have with him, and I'm really nervous about that changing. And I mean, obviously everything changes over time, you know, it's foolish to try to pretend otherwise, right? But it's still something that, I don't know, I'm not quite ready for. So there's that, but I don't know. Overall, I'm very excited and I'm ready to kind of take that next step. I just also have a little bit of, you know, fear of the unknown, I suppose, is the best way to put it. But today I have a whole bunch of doctor's appointments. So because of my age, and also because of the multiples aspect, I am considered a high-risk geriatric pregnancy. Yes, you did hear the word geriatric in there. Personally, I find it hilarious that at 38 years old, I'm considered geriatric. But there have been some benefits to that classification and the fact that it's multiples, because it means that I get monthly sonograms. So I get to see these little ones much more often than I got to see when I was pregnant with my first. So that's pretty cool. Today we are going to a regular monthly doctor's appointment, but then also because it is a high-risk geriatric pregnancy and because it is multiples, I have to go see a specialist as well today. So that should be interesting. I didn't have to do that with my son, even though it was a geriatric pregnancy. So I'm not exactly sure what this is going to entail, but I know it is going to have a sonogram and that they're doing growth scans and stuff like that to make sure that both of them are progressing at a healthy pace, and that, you know, we're all kind of on track as far as that goes. So that'll be really exciting, and I'm very much hoping that they can give me a better idea as to when I can expect for them to make an appearance, or what this last trimester is, you know, hopefully gonna look like. For any of you who know, like, real life me, I am a planner. I am definitely very, very, very type A. And there's so much uncertainty that is involved in this pregnancy that for me is very, very uncomfortable, because I don't know how to schedule for work. I don't know how to schedule for care for my current child. Like, my mom doesn't live here. Neither one of us, my husband or myself, have family here in the area. And so, you know, trying to figure out, you know, when I go into labor, who's gonna be here to take care of my little one. You know, if I go into labor at the middle of the night, you know, there aren't a ton of people that we can call to be like, hey, drop everything. be proud of me. This is my sunscreen. But yeah, so I want my mother to come up and be here. She was here when my son was born, and I personally love that. But I want her to be here when the twins come. Because I may be pushing 40, but I still want my mommy. And it would be helpful for her to be here so that she can stay with my son while we're laboring with the twins. But it's really hard to make those kinds of arrangements right now because we don't have a good idea about when to expect. Do we really feel like they're going to come early? Do we really feel like they're going to come on time? You know, there's also the question of bed rest. You know, a lot of parents of or mothers of multiples more specifically have to go on bed rest at some point because it's always, I mean, science and medicine has come an exceptionally long way. But they still say, you know, it's always best for the babies to develop in utero for as long as possible, which, duh. You know, so a lot of times with higher risk pregnancies, you tend to have bed rest involved and stuff like that. So, you know, are they going to be thinking along those lines? And if so, you know, what do I expect there? Because, you know, I've got a job. I can't just be like, okay, I'm not coming back just super randomly because, you know, they have to be able to provide coverage for the clients that I'm currently working with. Now, we do have a plan as far as when I stop taking on new projects, but I still have existing projects that I'm, you know, currently in the midst of. So we need to make sure that we've got, you know, coverage and introductions and, you know, things like that. So there's just a lot of uncertainty swirling around, and for me, again, that is just so uncomfortable for me because I don't like that. I don't really like chaos a lot. Alright. So hopefully, to make a very short story long, hopefully we'll get just some additional answers as far as what to expect so that I can start making some actual plans when it comes to their arrival. But that's also why I'm doing just some very, very simple makeup. Again, I just want to use through some of the stuff that I'm currently working on. And, oh, those are some errant bangs. Ah. So in case anybody was wondering, the eyeshadow that I used was the one from my BH Cosmetics in my Pan Those Eyeshadows, number 12. I just used it in my crease all over my lid. I'm actually here in a little while going to go on top of it with my Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow in the shade Reflect. I've really been loving the way that this looks lately, so I figured it would be kind of a good sort of look today for going and seeing all the doctors. I'm also hoping, because I've got time in between some of these appointments, I'm also hoping to go get a pedicure because it has been a while and it would just be really nice because I can't reach my feet. Getting dressed is quite amusing. Socks, quite amusing. So yeah. Shaving of the legs, quite amusing. Yes, I am still doing that. I really wanted to join the latest round of Alexi and Rebecca Morgan's panning roulette that started a couple of days ago. I wanted to join it so badly. I haven't joined in one of those rounds before, and I feel like it seems like it's so much fun, right? I love watching everybody's intros and updates and things like that. But I was a little nervous to actually join for a couple of reasons. First of which is I'm already doing quite a bit of project panning. I think I sat down and thought about it. I'm currently panning 55 products. I think that's right, because I've got 26 in my A to Z, and I've got 20 in my Always 20 and 2020, which comes to 46. And then I've also got my Pan Those Eyeshadows, which is another 5. So that's 51. Yeah, and then the 4 in my Partners in Cream. So I'm already panning a whole bunch of stuff, which is fine, but I want to make sure that I'm not overloading myself so that A, I can hit goals, and B, it's interesting for you guys when I update you and not just, well, I didn't get anywhere. But also, given the timing, I was really worried that I was going to have the twins and have to basically stop halfway through and just like disappear, kind of like I did with a couple of other projects last year. The Graveyard Project Pan, I didn't film any kind of finale, and the Hollow Out by Halloween, I didn't film a finale for that either. And I felt really bad about that because, you know, I want to be able to give you guys kind of the closure there, you know? So I just wanted to make sure that I was being responsible, I guess is the right word. So I didn't join in this time around, but it made me really sad because I love all of the new prompts and things like that. So I think I might join in the next round. I would assume that I mean, obviously they haven't said that there's going to be or not going to be or whatever the case may be. But I would assume that they're going to have one. Sorry, I'm looking for a different eyeshadow brush that I can sweep a little bit underneath my eyes, but it needs to be a very precise tip because I think, as I've said before, that number 12 shade from the BH Cosmetics, I love that it is more of a cool tone brown, but it can make my under eyes look really kind of battered. So I have to be real careful. But I don't like having completely naked under eyes either. Which is funny to me because, you know, before I started... Dude, this is pokey. Before I started YouTube, I never would have thought twice about not putting any eyeshadow underneath my eyes. And now, I feel weird if I don't. Alright, I think that's enough. Just gives it kind of a lined effect, I guess. Alright, okay, so yeah, so project panning. And you guys know, I love project panning. It is got such an amazing community around it, and I really am excited to be making some progress in my collection. But, I mean, you only do your makeup once a day, and honestly for me, I do work from home one day a week, so it's about half and half, I guess, that I wear makeup on that day. It just depends on what my day looks like, because especially these days, if I can get an extra 45 minutes of sleep, I'm going to take the extra 45 minutes of sleep. Let's be very, very honest here. But if I have a lot of like early morning commitments in my day, then I don't even worry about putting on makeup. But I mean, I enjoy putting on makeup, so it's not like it's a chore or anything, but sometimes I just allow sleep to win out in that department. And then on the weekends, I try to film on both Saturday and Sunday, but again, depending on what I have going on, and you know, what kind of is going on with the baby and everything like that, which, for any of you wondering, he will always be the baby. He will be the baby, they will be the twins. I don't care if they're 15, the baby and the twins. Well, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but you know where I'm going with that. So it really kind of depends on how that situation is looking, because he's kind of getting to the point where he doesn't want to go down for a nap, which I know I've mentioned before. It's very hit and miss. And when he does finally fall asleep, it's usually like 4 in the afternoon, which seriously disrupts bedtime and doesn't really give me a chance to film, because I'm only letting him sleep for a very short amount of time. So if he falls asleep at 4, he's getting 45 minutes max, because he does not need to be up until 10 o'clock at night. So it's kind of, I guess where I was going with that is how often I'm wearing makeup. And so consistently, anywhere between 4 and sometimes 6 days a week. So I can't pull in too many things, otherwise it just doesn't get enough usage. And as we have discussed before, makeup takes forever to go through. And I don't know why I'm saying that with such reverence, like, oh my God, that's a revelation. Like, no, we knew that. But especially because I tend to have such a light hand when doing my makeup, it takes a long time for me. All right, I think that's probably sufficient. All right, and then the last thing that I'm going to do before I jump off camera to put on like mascara and all that kind of stuff, because you do not want to see me making weird faces and not talking while I'm attempting to put on mascara, is I'm going to pat this Hourglass eyeshadow on top of the powder eyeshadow that I'm wearing. And I love this so much. This is probably one of the most beautiful eyeshadows that I own, and I absolutely love it. I'm so glad that I put this into my year-long project pan, because as I've mentioned a few times, I fall into that habit of when something is expensive or something is fancy, I only want to use it on special occasions, which is foolish for me, because the product just sits and goes to waste, and this is just too stunning to waste. And I especially like it paired with this BH Cosmetics eyeshadow shade, because this has such beautiful gold and pink glitter. It really lightens up the look so well. Absolutely love this eye look, and I've been wearing it. The lid was already on. I've been wearing it a lot lately and really enjoying it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, hop off camera, put on some mascara and probably a little bit of lipstick. We'll come back and we'll wrap up this extremely rambly Get Ready With Me. Alright, so here we are back with the final look. All I did was I added some of my Bad Gal Bang mascara to both the top and the bottom. I did put a little bit of Get Paid in my waterline. I love how this just brightens up any look. And then a little bit of lipstick. I combined these two beauties right here. I have my Charlotte Tilbury JK Magic. So beautiful. But I felt like it was a little bit too nude, and so I layered a little bit of Set Sail by Tarte on top of it, and I really like the way that it came out. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I know this was a super just rambly and weird video. I'm still trying to get the hang of get ready with me's because I don't know, I feel like I don't feel like I'm an interesting person. But if you did make it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate all of the love and support that you guys give me here on YouTube. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.